I love mushrooms. Not the food or the psychedelics of shrooms, but I love working with the abstract idea of mushrooms and the mycelium network system. I think they're extremely fascinating in the way that they grow and take up space and are able to communicate with each other. Typically, I do work with mushrooms, with more so the abstract idea of mushrooms and the mycelium network system. For this collection of work, I am really interested in creating more of like a formal mushroom. I would say like the stem I see as the garment itself, while the hats are representative of mushroom caps.
I love weird shit. Like, what, you know? I feel like if you're just like more open to being weird, like it's more like you're just being honest. I mean, it's a lot more honest than just like being like boring. So when we first started the show, all we had was just the idea for, you know, a wearable art show. We didn't really have like a set theme or like any ideas. Bethany was a lot more sure in what she wanted. Her final pieces kind of like reflect a lot of what she was saying. I'm a lot more like fickle in like how I like generate my ideas. I just kind of like go as I go.
For me, sculpture and fashion kind of see them as one entity. I don't see fashion as something separate from art. I think maybe because of my background in sculpture, I tend to see everything as sculpture.
If I were to sum up my entire collection in one word, I would say raw. In my head, at least, I see like making fashion as like Forever 21 or like something like mass-produced. I feel like art is a lot more like raw, personal, or like challenging than that.
I would say my favorite piece is the one that Brie wore. That one was really interesting to create. The process of making it was very frustrating. It was a learning experience for me in terms of planning. I wanted it to look like actual mushroom, where it'll be a mushroom cap and then the tool that is used as the longer part of the skirt is similar to the mushroom stem. My process for choosing the color palette of my collection, I wanted to go for more neutral colors for the garments themselves so that they represent the mushroom stem, while the hats are of course a bit more colorful to represent the mushroom caps in an abstract sense. If I were to sum up my entire collection in one word, it would be unrefined.
So this is my favorite piece from the show. This is actually like the very first thing that I made. I made it like way before we had like even like gotten in contact with any models. It was basically made for myself. The previous semester, I did a show about like, vampires from like Filipino folklore. When we started thinking about the show, I was really excited to like essentially like make a costume for that. I just like draw from like what I liked. I liked a lot of horror movies. I listened to like a lot of metal in high school, and that rotted my brain. What I really wanted to do like with like all of my art and like in this show was kind of like maintain that kind of like human touch to it, and just like have the model embody like the work and the work be embodied by the model rather than just like presenting my work as like a product. I got in making wearables, so it is kind of nice closing out like my college career, you know, with a wearable show.
In the future, I would like to see myself artistically and professionally taking up a lot of space, similar to my own body of work where my mushrooms tend to just grow everywhere and start spreading in the space that I have access to, and I would like to grow the same way.
I have a really hard time envisioning the future, but all I can really say for myself is that I wish I'm still like creating art and still have the kind of enthusiasm for art that like I have now. You know, getting older tends to kill that. I hope like older me gets to like just keep being able to like do things like this.